Feeling lonely is not the same as being alone. You can be among other people, next to your partner, with your family, and still feel lonely. You can be all by yourself and yet not feel lonely at all. Contrariwise, you can feel in peace, connected, calm, joyful, satisfied with your life, you name it. Hi, I'm Vasi Sarandopoulou, psychologist, trainer, and speaker, and I am here to share with you tips and insights from the psychology world. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to get notified every time I release a new video. Loneliness is the feeling of disconnection. As a psychotherapist, I have worked with many people when they're going through tough periods in their life, and I have come to observe and realize that during these periods they can experience two kinds of loneliness without meaning that one excludes the other. Actually, in many cases, they are interrelated. And I will explain what I mean. One type of loneliness is the feeling of disconnection from others. It's when we feel that people around us are not aligned with us. They're not in the same space with us. And this means that they're not able to understand us, to feel our struggles, to resonate with our experience. They're not getting us. And we don't share the same values. We don't authentically care about each other. Or it's the moment when we are, for example, in a conversation with someone and they don't seem genuinely interested in us. No eye contact, distracted on their phone, busy in their mind with something more interesting or urgent. We can see that. They're not there. They're not present. They're not connected with us. Or it's the moment when we sit next to our partner, but we have nothing to talk about. There's no emotional, no intellectual, no physical connection. We are absorbed in our own worlds and we are afraid to reach out to each other. We are probably emotionally exhausted from trying for our relationship. We are in pain and hurt from our partner, and we choose to disconnect as a way of protecting our last energy resources. Or we have forgotten how it is to be emotionally connected. It's also the moment when we are part of a group, either a work group or family group or a friend group, but still we feel that we don't belong there. We feel too different. We have different values. We are from a different culture. We have different beliefs. We feel as if we're aliens. And on top of that, no one is trying to help us integrate. On the opposite, they let us struggle alone and they go about forming even stronger bonds with other members of the group, but not with us. Not only do we feel ostracized, but also we feel ashamed of who we are. We keep ruminating over what is wrong with us, how unfair everybody's treating us, how unlovable or unlikable we feel, and whether that means that we will be alone and disconnected forever. As you can understand, Pandora's box with all our fears and negative self-talk has just opened. It's also the moment when we feel that we are a burden to someone's life. For example, when we are struggling with our mental health and we assume that people around us will not understand, or they will judge us, or even worse, they will invalidate our struggle. We are afraid that we will impose on someone if we share what we're going through, and that they will not have the space nor the mental capacity in order to support us and be there for us. This is when we start hiding our challenges and our feelings. But that is also when loneliness peaks even more. It's us on our own. It's also when we belong in a minority group and we feel that we will always be the odd ones, the strangers. For example, this is particularly common for immigrants, expats, or people who belong to the LGBTQIA community, or people who belong in different race, ethnicities, and cultural communities. But as I said before, there's another kind of loneliness, and it's the one we feel when we have disconnected from ourselves. This is usually common after a long time of taking care of others, supporting them, and focusing on their own needs. And it makes perfect sense why we don't recognize ourselves anymore. We feel estranged from parts of ourselves. We don't know who we are, what we want, where we're going. We have forgotten what it feels like to be us. We don't know what gives us joy, meaning, and purpose in life. We have probably changed a lot, grown, and we don't know which direction we're going towards. Loneliness is also there in every transition of our life, either internal or external transition. It's one of these moments that we call existential crisis, and these moments are very lonely ones. It's also the moments when we don't like ourselves. It's common, especially when we're struggling with our mental health. It is then when our inner critic yells all these harsh messages, nasty messages in our head. You're not enough. You're a failure. There's something wrong about you. You will be alone forever. People don't like you. You don't deserve to be happy. You name it. What else does your inner critic say to you when you are feeling lonely? Add it in the comments and let's connect through our shared experience. Not only do we listen during these moments to these messages, but we surrender to them. We agree and we keep repeating them in our head during our sleepless nights. When people mistreat us, when others judge us, when people forget about us, or when we can't make a decision and when we face a setback. It's also the moments when we're not good friends with ourselves. What does it mean? Instead of being understanding and validating and supportive and compassionate, especially when we're struggling, we dismiss ourselves and we push ourselves even further. Would we do something like that to a friend? No. But how do we create connection then? Here are a couple of ideas on how to create connection with people around us, but also with ourselves. First of all, join groups of people that share the same values and same interests with you. It's so important because that will be the first thing that will connect you. Practice empathic listening. Get into the other people's shoes. They will feel safe with you. Be authentic and honest when you're around them. Don't hide who you really are. Be curious about others and non judgmental about their life and their life experiences. Accept them as they are and give support to them. How can we connect with ourselves? First of all, allow your feelings. Even if this is loneliness, allow your loneliness to be there. It's going to be there only for a little bit, not forever. Accepting your feelings, it means that you are accepting yourself. And that's the first and most important step. Stop the harsh critical voice in your head, which means start realizing, becoming aware of this voice in order to question it, to ask whether this is helpful or not, and then stop it. Try to stay with this uncomfortable feeling, and that will tell you what are your needs. You need to be true to your needs. So make space for your needs, which means not only listen to yourself, but also set boundaries to others. Another important tip, especially for people that they don't like themselves, they have disconnected with themselves and are not good friends with themselves. Have fun when you are alone. Find all these things that give you joy when you're alone. And for some people, that can be tricky. But as I said before, stay a little bit with the discomfort because now you're growing. Remember when you said that you need to be a good friend of yourself. So comfort yourself when you're hurt. Hug yourself. Give yourself what you need. Take good care of yourself, especially the moments that you are hurt. Connect with your values, your wants, your likes, your dislike, and journaling is something that helps with that. Start writing down who you are. Understand yourself. Make yourself acquaintance again with yourself before you make yourself friend. Explore everything that gives meaning and purpose to your life. And of course, practice on a daily basis self-love and self-acceptance, because this is what you need most. Remember, loneliness is the need for connection. Loneliness is the signal that reminds us how much we value relationships and we can't survive without them. Loneliness is the message that our body sends that we are important and that we need to become friends with ourselves again. In order to defeat loneliness, you have to listen to this message. So, I hope that this was helpful. Take a look at my AntiLoneliness Academy that I have created for all of you who are ready to dig deeper and create more connection, more joy, and more freedom in your life, who are ready to grow and get unstuck and fulfill your potential and your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel in order to get notified for my new videos where I will be talking more about relationships and how to know yourself better and to heal. Thank you once again. I'm grateful that you're here and I appreciate your support. Until next time, take good care of yourself.